Gone are the days when we used to think clinical data management professionals as data hunters, data gatherers, data analysts, or data interpreters. CDM professionals have changed. They are now using AI. So in this video, we'll try to first understand what kind of work actually CDM professionals are doing and how AI is revolutionizing. Now here is a fun fact. Even if without AI, CDM is a fairly successful field and highly rewarding. But with the advent of AI, now a CDM professional can do the job of 100 analysts, and that to find patterns which was never visible earlier in data. Now, as you know, there are three parts of our pharma. First is, of course, research. The second is, of course, getting the approvals, and the third is production, right? So unless the research happens, the approvals won't happen. Unless the approval doesn't happen, the manufacturing cannot happen. So these are the three crucial pillars of the pharma industry. So research is something which, okay, that's separate. AI is already there. But how regulatory happens is clinical research. Without clinical research, none of your medicine reaches you, right? So somebody has to take that, medicine, taste that medicine for the first time and say, okay, it's good, right? So what the pharma companies do is they hire or they themselves do clinical research. So they will tie up with, say, 100,000 hospitals across the globe. Like, let's say 100,000 hospitals, that's 1 lakh hospitals. Now in each hospital, say 100 patients, okay? Now do the multiplication, right? So 1 crore patients now are enrolled in that particular clinical research. And of course, the pharma company has to pay each of them. Now that's the fun fact that they get paid. But now they're risking their life. So of course, they're going to take the medicine. Now, when they take the medicine, sometimes they don't even take, by the way. So now clinical research associate will monitor all of that and feed the data in the EDC and all that. And now the CDM professional is analyzing all of that. So he is looking at the patient demographics, he's looking at the medical history of the patient, he's looking at the lab test results, he's looking at any adverse effect or side effect which happened, concurrent medication he is taking which can impact the clinical research, he's also looking at the vital sign data, and he's also looking at the efficacy and safety outcomes of the medicine. Now, the core objective of a clinical data professional will obviously be always data accuracy, data integrity, regulatory compliance, and audit readiness. Now, this is fairly complicated process. It's not that easy, and a lot of big time companies like TCS and Wipro are involved in this. So you can imagine CDM is a real job with high paying salaries. But recently I was talking to one of the directors at IQVIA. So he told me that how pharmacovigilance and CDM and clinical research is getting, regulatory affairs is getting revolutionized through AI. So we started talking to more professionals who are working on AI in clinical data management, and we found out that AI-enabled CDM professionals can actually do 10x better job than a non-AI CDM professionals, and that obviously means that this guy will replace the previous guy, right? So that can be you. So already salary of a CDM professional starts at 50 to 60,000 rupees and goes up to 24 to 48 lakh rupees. Also, in some cases, we have seen up to 96 lakhs rupees also. So having said that, if that's the case, that's happening, that's great. So how AI will revolutionize? Let's look at that. So AI is first being used right now in data collection process. What is happening is there is a EDC, there's a software. So automatic entry or ingestion of data from EDC, ePro or eCOA, variables and labs and imaging and EHRs into the system. The second would be AI is creating a map of heterogeneous data formats into standard CDISC aligned structure. And then AI is helping create a real-time flagging dashboard for missing, inconsistent or illogical entries. Now, here is something you should know about data. So, many cases the patient forgot to take the medicine. Many cases the patient is taking concurrent medicine without informing. Sometimes the patient doesn't turn up. Sometimes the patient is hiding the vitals. There can be a lot of inconsistencies. AI can find that out. Now, also, AI can do intelligent edit check and query generation. So it can detect something which is abnormal in the data, outliers, implausible values, like how can this date value be high or low, which a human mind might not detect, right? But if it is highlighted, definitely the human mind will analyze. So it can find the cross-form inconsistency. So this leads to a 30 to 50% reduction in manual queries and, of course, leads to data cleaning. So now the CDM professionals will go for data cleaning. So what happens with data cleaning? Now, experts have designed machine learning models which can predict discrepancies and what are the true errors versus what is clinically acceptable. They can prioritize high-risk issues and automate the reconciliation between the lab versus CRF, SAE versus AE, and concurrent medication versus medical history. And it can reduce the repetitive medical review. That means the process is less now, faster. We can do the CDM process faster. So the number of hours which we were earlier spending in CDM process is now reduced. Now on the top of it, now there is natural language processing. One example we have seen is, okay, ChatGPT, you can go and ask and it will tell you. So now natural language processing is being used in medical data. So now we can analyze unstructured fields and make it structured, and now we can create narratives. We can find, okay, this is the medical history, that's why this happened. We can create descriptions, protocol deviation notes automatically, everything, right? Now this for example, you must have seen when you are typing in Android, you see auto suggest, right? Similarly, auto suggest in Medra and WHO drug coding is now there. Now it can also flag mismatches between coded and narrative data. Now that's where now comes AI in medical coding. Medical coding was supposed to be dead, but instead medical coding is growing using AI. AI models are now trained on millions of historical coding decisions. So it will suggest now primary term, LLT and PT mapping, confidence score for each code, and human coder reviews and approves. So that is a human in the loop during the medical coding process. Then we have risk-based monitoring enablement using AI. AI is identifying high-risk sites, subjects, data points so that humans can pay attention. Okay, this particular site is highly risky, we have to be careful. It will also analyze continuous deviation in the data, enrollment anomalies in patients, data correction frequency, and supports centralized monitoring models also. Now this leads to reduced on-site monitoring costs, so which used to go in millions of dollars for one hospital now is going to reduce. Now on the top of it, we have predictive data quality analytics, which means which site may cause database delays, which data quality issues will emerge. We can predict all of that, and then AI can give us early warning that there are high query rates or late data entry or inconsistent CRFs, and that will not get overlooked, and we will be able to bring in better regulatory compliance into the entire structure. And that is where AI also comes into regulatory affairs and compliance also now, and audit readiness. You see, without audit readiness, FDA will in time inspect, and now our clinical research is not valid. So we have to make sure that the audit readiness is there, and AI helps us do all of that by analyzing unusual patterns, inconsistent patient history changes, and ensures ALCOA plus compliance automatically. This means anytime we are ready for audit, and that means we are looking at a CDM professional who is 24/7, while of course his duty is 8 hours, but the software works 24/7, and that leads to better results, better efficiency, less money spent, and of course that is where more and more companies are investing in AI in clinical data management. Now, having said that, you also have an opportunity to learn AI in clinical data management. So of course you can learn CDM, and then you can become a CDM manager, and of course you can learn AI in CDM, and all of that. We are creating a complete platform with project, which is a 6 months project is also available in our CDM training program. So you start with CDM, then you learn AI in CDM, and then you do an industry project. So you will be ready with Medra and all of that, and you will be able to implement AI in your process, and that means the experience letter which you'll get from Biotecnika will help you land a job. Just to give you examples, 6 students of Biotecnika got a job, work from home job in Premier Research just a few months ago, and they all got a salary of 50,000 plus. And the proof of placement is also there. I'll try to include that in the comment section. And then we have also placed them as a work from home. So you can get work from home clinical data management jobs, that too with AI. So there is a big shift happening already in the clinical data management. It is no longer a data entry and cleaning job. It is about data intelligence. It is about risk prediction. It is about decision support. It is about automation, governance, and efficiency. So as a CDM professional now, it is very important for you to be AI literate. You have to learn data reasoning, regulatory understanding should be better and automated, and of course you should have better systems and oversight of intelligent systems, and that is where our AI in CDM program comes into picture. More details are given in the description, please check it out. And if in case you have missed, don't worry, you can always reach out to me at shekhar@biotecnika.org for future batches if in case we launch, and I'll help you get in one of them. All the best in your CDM career, and I look forward to get you a job in the clinical data management industry. All the best.